All right. Inversion models are fairly new in the last 5 or 6, 7 years. So, well, more than that. But I thought it'd be interesting to see what would happen if we applied the inversion models to some older observations. So I pulled from the archives old observations out of occult and started playing with it. I basically asked 3 questions. There's probably more that I could have asked, but one, do present modeling techniques fit old events? Does one model fit better than another? And Dave Harrell talked about that yesterday a little bit. And how do models fit the same asteroid over time? We've seen occultations of the same asteroid over many years. Do the models continue to fit as well from one year to the next? Here's a brief description from one of the first papers out on the inversion model technique by Joseph Dirac and his Dammit site. I'll let you read through that at your leisure. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it basically just talks about how they came up with the technique. The technique has been modified or improved upon, so now they can hopefully get concave modeling as well as convex. It's all pretty amazing stuff, considering they're just taking light curves and coming up with these models. Again, I'll let the presentation's online so you can read that at your leisure. All right, so do present modeling techniques fit old events? We're going to fit models back to 1979 to the present. Let's see what happens. All right, 1979 Juno. That was well before inversion models were available. A good set of observations, well fit, and this is in the day before video too, I would expect. So considering we had no video, that's a pretty good fit. Yep, for sure. Here's 1983. I think probably one of the best observed occultations by an asteroid with a sheer number of chords. But look at how well all of those chords, again, in the day before video, fit that model. That's amazing. (1991) Atlantis. Again, the fit to the model is quite nice. (1995) Io. Nice fit. 1998 IOTA. Daphne. So it appears that these inversion models are working for historic events very nicely. Here's Circe. We're up to 2004 now. Again, 2004 with Io. Not quite as good a fit, especially at the lower end, but still all in all pretty good. 2005, Julia. Alexandra. Not all of them work out as well as we might expect. This one isn't quite so nice. Not quite as good a fit. Freya. Again, there's been a shift in the path on that one. A lot of cores to the north, not so many to the south, so maybe the path shift caused us to miss all the nice cores we could have had there. Pandora. Pretty good fit at north end. Don't know what's going on there. Getting closer to the present time now. We're up to 2008. Estrella, good fit. 2010. Sappho. Psyche. Again, a couple of chords don't fit well, but all in all pretty good. 2011. 2011 again. So you can see, looks like through time, these models have done a good job. 2011 still. So over time, they fit pretty well. Now we have some, and Dave talked about this yesterday, where we have more than one model. Usually it's a rotation axis issue, 180 degrees off. We'll take a look at some of these. Here's Flora, Model 1, Model 2. Model 1, Model 2. Probably can't decide which one's which on this one. A little bit of ambiguity. Here's Palace, Model 1, Model 2. Again, a little bit of ambiguity there. Can't decide which one's going to be the best fit. Iguria, Model 1, Model 2. This one presents a situation where one model is definitely better than the other. We even caught that little bit down at the south end there. This one, not so much. That helps the inversion model people to decide which model is going to be correct and how they can look at future events. And now, through time, let's take some of these models for asteroids and let's move them through time, through more than one event. Here's Fortuna, and then 1 year later, so year before, year after, obviously presented a different look at it to us, but everything was still the same, or the fit was still pretty good. Fokia, this is the one back in 2006 that really piqued my interest because I had the chord there to the last positive chord on the right side where I had the little grays event occur. So there's the fit from 2006, and we can go forward in time to 2012. Obviously will present itself differently to us, and we still have a pretty good fit. Eugenia, 2008, 6 years later, 2014, different presentation, still a good fit. All right. For Metis, there's 5 events that we can compare through time. There's the first one back in 2001. Then we go to 2008. Again, 2008. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a second look. Yeah, second model. We got 2 models for Metis during this time. And it looks to me like Model 1 was a better fit. Right. Now we go to December 2008. Different presentation. The model still seems to work pretty well. Now we're kind of narrowing down the model, I think. 12.5 years after the first modeling, we come up with 2014 and an excellent fit. And then finally, I think this is the final one. Thisbe, I think, is the longest one between observations. 1981 and 2007. So there's 25 years difference between that event in the model and this event in the model. I'd say that was pretty good. Well, I guess I do have one more. Minerva, even longer. 1982, 2010, 28 years later, and now 32 years later, 2014. So the modeling is consistent through all of those events, through all that time period, which to me is kind of nice to know that what the work they're doing and the modeling they're doing is appropriate through time. Here are the references. If you haven't been to to Joseph's website, you really need to take a look at it. A lot of good information there. Could those be highlighted in the prediction? You mean the model? I suppose we could put the model up during a prediction. I don't know how that would work. Sometimes I'll put the model up on the results page after we know someone has observed the event, and I'll put the model up to show what it looks like before we have an analysis. And that should be it. Any questions or comments? Yeah, the key is you need more observations so we can decide which model is correct if there's more than one model. And certainly the inversion model people would love to know which model is a better fit. That way they can refine their formulas and how they look at the light curves and so on. Possibly. I know it's in the predictions that Steve produces now as a note that there's a model in catalogs, ISOM and DAMIT. Yeah, I thought it was kind of neat to put them all together too, just to see how things worked out. So, anything else?